Hello everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we have my April book haul. It's been a little while since I've done a video. For the last couple weeks, I've been dealing with a weird skin issue around my eyes, which is just freaking annoying. We started with like dry eczema-like skin, and then I had a reaction to my normal facial moisturizer. So that has been just amazing. Every morning I wake up with it a little bit dry, but a little bit better than it was before. Putting some more like Vaseline type of stuff on it so that it's just moisturized, but like no other like ingredients in it. And that seems to have been working. Hopefully it's not too pink or red or anything, but I'm just like literally been dealing with it every day for like 2 weeks. No other issues, just dry skin that I've normally dealt with, and then I had a reaction. So that's fun. I mean, I reacted to a type of sunscreen last year too. So we're finally back. I feel like we should definitely be doing some sort of monthly wrap-up thing, but I didn't really want to talk about all the books that I read so far, so we're gonna go through the haul instead. Now let's preface this by saying I bought more books than I really should have. However, I knew I was going to be doing the South Sound book crawl at the end of April, because April 25th, I'm pretty sure it is, it was Indie Bookstore Day. And in my area, they do an indie bookstore crawl called the South Sound Book Crawl, where they had 12 bookstores this year. And I went to all of them, got my little stamps on my passport and everything. But one thing that I like to do is buy like one book per place that I visited. And I went to one extra bookstore, and at one store I bought 2 books instead of 1. So I actually bought like 14 books during that. Besides that, I feel like I was doing very, very well. However, as we will see, we're gonna go through my little stats. I guess we'll do that first maybe, since I'm sort of talking about it. I have not been doing as well with my percentage of books read that I have purchased this year. I would like it to be closer to 50. If I could do like more than that, that would be amazing. But I'm currently at 11% read. I've read 7 total books this year, 11% read, but I've purchased like 64 this year, which at March last year, I was over 90 because I went to like a couple other things. Plus then I did actually do the book crawl in April last year. Let's just say I was probably over 100 books purchased at this time last year. So I'm doing so much better that way. However, I'm still like, it's too many. It's too many. So one thing that I think I'm going to be doing is a book buying ban. Now, I have not done one of these in forever. It feels weird to be prefacing it with this because I'm really bad at them. However, I was doing pretty well throughout the year because I wasn't like going out and seeking bookstores to buy books, because I have, I think, over 600 books now on my TBR. I was doing very, very well. So what I'm going to be doing is not going out and specifically looking to buy books. I do have some pre-orders that I've already pre-ordered that I think are taking me pretty much through the end of the year. So I am going to be saying those don't count, obviously. I have some pre-orders. I also have some book box subscriptions. I've been very picky about what books and book boxes I'm getting in this year, so those are also not going to count because I've already been very picky about it. But if I want to keep my book box subscriptions, which I only have like Illumicrate, Afterlight, Starbright, Evernight, like all the Illumicrate ones, that's all I have right now. If I want to keep them, I have to like buy half of them throughout the year. So like Illumicrate that does 12 months worth, I have to at least purchase 6 in order to keep my subscription, but I have been basically skipping every other month right now anyway. So I'm gonna keep those and only purchase the ones that I actually want to purchase. And then I think I'm going to allow myself special editions if I really, really want them. But in general, again, I don't think I've been purchasing as many. And by special editions, I do mean like the ones from Illumicrate, things like that, where like once they're sold out, it's gonna be really, really hard to get a hold of them. And I was thinking about like, how long should I actually do this? And I was originally thinking like 6 months. It's May now. If we get to 6 months, that would be like through October. And then I usually do the Clear Your Shit Readathon in November and December, where I don't buy books those months either. So I think, tentatively, we're looking at a like semi-book buying ban through the end of the year now. Like, the things that I have are the things that I have, minus any sort of like pre-orders and book box things. We'll see if I keep to that. I'm really, really, really bad about book buying bans. But I just got to the point where I was like 11% read total. And that's it. And I'm like, there's so many books that I would like to read. I'm trying to do more mood reading this year, which I think has been helping a little bit, but like I need to stop buying books. So that was the main thing that I wanted to preface this with. My current total spent is also getting very, very close to $1,000. I do think a couple of those I put in the prices of Kickstarter things that came in last month, even though technically I purchased them last year, but because they didn't come in last year, the money wasn't counted last year. So I put them in here so we have it. So, but yeah, again, getting very close to like where I would like to be done for a while. And so I think that is going to be it for the like stats. It says I purchased 20 books in April. Obviously 14 of them were from the actual indie book crawl. I have a couple boxes that came in that I haven't unboxed, so we definitely need to do that. And so I think we're gonna start with the book haul from the actual indie bookstore crawl, because I actually talked about all these in the vlog. I will link down below. So I'm just gonna like literally hold them up and show you these are the things that I got during the crawl. And they're all from indie bookstores. And then we'll dive into like everything else. So we have Hopelessly Teavoted by Audrey Goldberg Ruoff, The One by John Mars, Our Rogue Fates by Sarah Glenn Marsh, The Tricky Business of Fairy Bargains by Rena McCarty, Exodus, The Archimedes Engine by Peter F. Hamilton, A Secret Staircase by Aaron Scott, Statues by Junji Ito. I read this one already, so be proud of me. Of Monsters and Mainframes by Barbara Truelove, The Library of Amorlin by Kaylin Josephson, Wildsmith Into the Dark Forest by Liz Flanagan, You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince by Timothy Janowski, Apparently Sir Cameron Needs to Die by Greer Stothers, Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett, and Amari and the Metalwork Menace by B.B. Alston. So those were all of the books that I got during the indie bookstore crawl. Like I said, I did talk about them in the vlog. So now we have some pre-orders that came in. The first one is The Ending Writes Itself by Evelyn Clark. This is two authors. It's actually V.E. Schwab and Kat Clark writing together about this group of authors, I can't remember exactly how many, that come to like this estate of a very famous author, and when they're there they found out that he has actually passed away and they need to like write the ending to his last book. And I think there's mystery elements in this as well. I don't know much else about it, but obviously I had to pick it up. The next two pre-orders that I have actually came in on the same day, and they both ended up being novellas. I did not look into it far enough to realize that these were novellas. One of them, yes, but not the other. The first one that I did not realize was a novella was We Burned So Bright by T.J. Klune, mostly because all of my other T.J. Klune are novels. This is a short novella. I'm very excited for this, also apprehensive, but at the same time I love so much that I have read by T.J. Klune, because this is going to be following an older married couple who are like in the last week or two of the world, because I guess the moon has cracked, something is coming, I don't know if it's the moon, I can't remember exactly, but they're like on a road trip from one side of the country to the other, just sort of living the last bits of their life, and I'm sure this is gonna make me cry. Like I'm positive. But yeah, didn't realize it was a novella. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive, which I don't know what else we got in there, but I do love that we have like something underneath the dust jacket. So yes. And then the other one that came in on the same day that I do think I knew was a novella, because the other stuff that I've read from this author was also novella length. It's gonna be Break Room by Mi-Yi Lee. So this is translated from Korean into English. And this is gonna be about people that go onto this like break room TV show, but they don't realize that the reason they're on the show is because their coworkers voted them like bitchiest in the office. Like that's not what it actually is. I can't remember what they called it. The office villain. I think I'm right. Bitchiest in the office. And so then the TV show thing goes from there. I love the idea of this. Again, it is going to be a novella, so I did pick this up as well. Okay, and then we have some things to unbox. Now I ordered a couple like special edition things from Illumicrate when they were having their sequel sale. I think it's still technically going on, but they were having a sequel sale, and there were a couple books that I think I was able to get through their US warehouse on sale. And even though I haven't read the first one, because I'm very bad about that, and I do have it and I want to read it, it is by an author that I've enjoyed things from before. So I was definitely like, you know what? I'm just going to bite the bullet and get the rest of the series that they had. I think it's the whole entire thing. I think it's a trilogy, so I have 2 books in here. But like I said, they were like 40% off or something like that, so... Oh, it's in... Interesting. It's in a cardboard box, but then we have Illumicrate boxes in the cardboard box, and these are some of the nicest looking Illumicrate boxes that I've ever seen because of the fact that they were already packaged in another box that actually went through my postal system. So, like, these are full on nicely done. Okay, I don't know which one is book 2 and which one is book 3. So we're just going to be going, I guess, in order of what I have in here. There is a ton of the squiggly papers in here, and the book is plastic wrapped. I have The Hunting Moon by Susan Dennard, which is gorgeous. So obviously we have the first book of the series, which I can't even remember what that's called anymore either. Here's what the original first cover looks like. I can't even actually show you besides a superimposed image because my book number 1 is actually wrapped up in my 25 books that I wanted to read in 2025 that I have not even continued with. Like, it's still wrapped. I should do a vlog on that at some point in time where I just like start unwrapping books and trying to read them this year in 2026. But so this is either book 2 or book 3. It is very shiny, and I just like the additions they have with this. I obviously could have just gone for regular books at some point in time. I love that it looks like a different book underneath the dust jacket. Here's some end papers. Same thing on both sides. And I think this is a YA series technically. Like I said, I don't remember if this is book 2 or book 3. I think it's a trilogy. I do remember something about like a creepy wood or something like that for book 1. So that's one of them. The other one will be in here, which again, lots of squiggles in the plastic wrap. And so this one is The Whispering Night. Again, don't know if this is book 2 or book 3. Has purple edges. Very nice. Like, I just love how they've done this. And again, looks like a different kind of book under the dust jacket, which I love. I like that this is bronze, and I think, yeah, the foiling on here was bronze as well. So I like that they kept that from the dust jacket onto the naked hardcover. And here are the end papers, which I think, yeah, same on both sides. These also look like they're officially signed as well. Illumicrate has started going to digital signatures, which I don't mind, but it looks like these ones are like signed. So these are very nice. I definitely want to get into it. Like, I definitely wanted to read book 1 last year. I just didn't pick it, and I have not continued, but now I have, I think, the whole trilogy. They look very pretty. So because those were on sale, I did pick those up. Now, I actually have an Allurial box from a couple months ago that I put to the side because I was going to open it in like a vlog or something that never happened, and I forgot that I had it. So this actually is probably, I think, from March. I've been skipping the last couple months of Allurial. So when I said my only book box that I have is Illumicrate, I lied. Technically, I have Allurial. I do think I have a sequel that is supposed to come in July that I've already pledged myself for. I think that's what they're calling it. They send out these like surveys on your like Allurial page so that they can see if they have enough interest in certain sequels to actually print them. So I have one sequel thing that I have pledged myself for. But this one is also a sequel. Here's my bookmark. This one came out in like March. And so I think actually the one that's supposed to come out in July is the 3rd one of this series. Have I read book 1? No. But I have all the very pretty Allurial editions now. So again, I'm being very, very picky about the books that I'm going to be getting from Allurial as well, but technically that would count for my book buying ban because it's a book box that I have subscribed to. We'll see. But so this is book 2. This is Summoned to the Wilds by A.K. Caggiano? I'm not entirely sure. I love the covers of these. I know that this is like the traditionally published covers. Sometimes Allurial does special edition covers. I'm not as into them, depending on what they are. And on the back, it does have a little quote for us. It says, she's sworn to protect the realm. Her heart has other plans. We have very cool edges. Like, this is one of the things that I'm like, it's gorgeous. It has the typical Allurial underneath the dust jacket. So like the actual hardcover doesn't really have anything. It just says Allurial. It has the title and everything here, and then it has like the month that it's there. But we do get end papers, and I think this is very similar to what book 1 was. It's just in the color scheme for book 2. The design might be slightly different. I would have to get book 1 and do that. But I really love the like quality of the paper that we've been getting for Allurial. Like, they're hardcovers, but you can basically lay them flat. So like, even though it is a special edition, it's from Book of the Month technically, but like through their Romantasy subscription, it's just like slightly better than like, I guess, a normal book. But I got the one that matches. And like I said, I think I'm pledged for the 3rd book that comes out in like July through them. That's my last Allurial thing that I've gotten so far. And the pledge is like the only one that I'm pledged for in the next couple months, I want to say. So we'll see about that. But it does technically count for my book buying ban because we're doing that. We are. So the last thing that I have is April's Illumicrate. Yes, I actually have an Illumicrate. I think, like I said, I've been skipping almost every other month. So this is the last one that we've had in a little while. I think we got an Afterlight the month before. So I do spoil myself for these. However, I have not seen what is in here yet. I probably could have unboxed this like a week or so ago, except for had issues going on. So let's dive into this. The thing right on top is obviously going to be our spoiler card. It's for Faerie Bargains, which is our theme. I love the design here, but I think the design is usually based on whatever the traditionally published in the UK cover is, so I have no idea what it's going to look like this time. The next thing that I see on top looks like it's probably going to be a mug. It says Wayward Realm, designed by Rosie Thorns. Doesn't tell me on here. Sometimes their packaging will tell you like what fandom, what book series or book it's from. This one doesn't say. Let's see. Okay. I will show you. It also says on our spoiler card, this is inspired by Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which I read the first book, really enjoyed it, definitely want to continue. So that's obviously Emily. It's very cute. I will say the color scheme is a little bit muted for what I would have expected, but I do like that we have some little flowers over here. It's very pretty. Rosie Thorns art, gorgeous. I love the mugs, so that is always exciting. Let's see what else. The next thing I see looks to be maybe some sort of fabric item. Oh, an oven mitt. Okay. Twisted Bargains oven glove. It's an oven mitt for sure. Inspired by The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson. I have not read that one. I feel like I've heard of the title. And so it's just a very cute, this is a very like soft and nice one. Looks like, I don't know, ferrets or something. It's an oven mitt. Very useful and handy, and it definitely seems very nice. I will say, I do think it'll protect your hand. I don't know how heat resistant the glove is. Like the ones that we have at my house are like the rubbery silicone ones on the outside, because we needed those. But I love the design of this. What else? I think I see like an envelope thing in here. This, it's purple for sure. It says Faerie Bookshelf Cross-Stitch Bookmark Kit. Okay. I am definitely a crafty girl. Haven't done a good craft in a while, but like that's exciting. Let's open it. It's very sticky, so it's like ripping the top a little bit, but it really doesn't want to open on me. Okay. Okay. Here is what it looks like for the like design of it. They have 3 pictures there, but it's obviously you just have one. It's very cute. It has like mushrooms, and it's obviously a bookmark with bookshelves and I don't know, like an acorn and things too. On the back, it gives you all of your thread that you would need for it, and it will tell you exactly how to do it with the instructions. They even give you, I think, 2 needles. I do think this is really cute. Okay, I like this. I like that it gives you all the instructions, obviously. Like, we would need that. I don't think I've ever cross-stitched before. My sister has. I've gotten her some little cross-stitch kits for birthdays and things like that as well. I'm excited. And I think there's one more thing in here. It was hiding in all of the paper squiggles because it's a little bit smaller. It does say it's a washi tape set. So it's Fae Enchantments stamp washi tape. Interesting. Okay, inspired by Lore of the Wilds by Annalee Sabrana, These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan, and The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. So maybe like 3 rolls, 1 book each. I'm right. I would not be able to tell you which one is which. And they are stamps in the fact that, like, when you look at it, you see these like holes. You can cut them and it would have that like scalloped edge of a stamp. So this has some sort of like star book, a door maybe, moons, there's like a ship. This one, I want to say an institution, like it reminds me of the Institute from Mortal Instruments. It's probably not. It's an old building, a crown, another like castle, maybe they're castles, and a mirror. And then this one seems a little bit more woodsy, fairy, floral stuff. I don't know, some sort of house. I don't know, it looks like a floral crown, a wooden door, and another sort of like book journal thing. Again, I have no idea what is what here. They're very cute though. I love the idea of the stamps and how there's like 1 thing per stamp, but we get at least 4 designs, and you can definitely use them for like anything, even like scrapbooking and stuff. Like, they're just like really nice designs. I don't know which books are which though. Let me know if you do. And then I think we're officially down to the book. Okay, which is Thistlemarch by Maria Corrigan. Very different vibes on this than I feel like both US edition and UK edition. The colors of this remind me a lot of the US one, but we just had like a door. I don't mind this, even though I feel like it is very different vibes. The UK one was very like purpley and like this. I do think I would have preferred that color scheme, but I'm not mad at this one. On the back, we have this like statue, which is very intriguing. Here are the edges. The edges are really nice. Like, can you see, like, again, almost like a painting, but then like, I'm sure that's sort of like the statue again, potentially. I do like the edges a lot. Okay, let's dive in. Okay, underneath the dust jacket reminds me a little bit more of the edges. Like, it looks like tapestry vibes, because we have this like whole scene. Like, that's what it's reminding me of. Like, very tapestry-esque. I think there's like, yeah, border on the top and the bottom. So it's very intriguing. It reminds me of that. I don't know if art is like a big thing in this or not. Okay, let's go. Here are end papers. This is the front. Again, very intriguing. I love the art style on these ones. And in the back, we have a dragon. Okay, very, very intriguing for that as well. So again, I'm excited for this one. This one's gonna have like fae and fairies. I think every single thing we got pretty much for items was fae or fairy related. And this one does have an author letter with a digital signature, which again, perfectly fine with. I don't mind the digital signatures. I do like it when they do this, where it's on the author letter. So if for some reason you were going to a signing where they could do it themselves, you still have your dedicated page where a normal author signature goes with the title and the author's name. So I do like that. And the summary says, fairies disappeared over 100 years ago as suddenly as slipping through a doorway. It was only the very foolish or the very determined who held out hope for their return. In the wake of World War I, the world is a decidedly unmagical place. Mouse Dunn, I don't know what I feel about her name being Mouse. Hopefully it's a nickname and there's a reason for it. Once dreamed of becoming a fairy anthropologist, but with one telegram, her world shattered. At the Somme, her cousin Bertie's body disappeared into the mud, and her brother Roger came home with devastating shell shock. It was time she knew to put aside childish dreams. Then Mouse receives news that her uncle has left her Thistlemarch Hall, a crumbling manor in the English countryside, once blessed by the Fairy King himself. But there is a catch. If Mouse does not rehabilitate the house in 1 month's time, she will forfeit her inheritance and any hope of caring for her brother. It looks impossible until a mysterious fairy appears with a proposition. Mouse knows better than to trust a fairy, especially one so insufferably handsome and arrogant. But she is out of options. There are wild and magical forces at work in the house, and Mouse must confront the ghosts of her past or lose everything. Again, very excited for this one. Yeah. And so I do think that was everything here. Again, most of the books that I bought this month, the reason that I have so many that I had to haul was the indie bookstore crawl, which I knew was going to happen. So I'm not mad about that. However, I do need to like cut myself off and read some of the books that I have purchased this year, other books that I own. So we are going to be doing that sort of book buying ban. And so before we like close out of this video, there's one more thing that we actually need to check on, which is my shelf reduction, which we know is not going to be reducing anything because I just bought a bunch of books, but hopefully in the next few months with a book buying ban and not actively buying books and hopefully actively reading them, this will be reduced. But so as of now, so actually we should start with March. The end of March, I ended at 614 books. I started off January at 588, so like it needs to go down. We read 4 off of my TBR / one of the ones that I read that I bought already, but it's counted in red. Then I also purchased 21, which we just went through everything. That 21 does include one of the books that I already read. I unhauled 0 extra books this month. My new total is 631. Yeah, that's why we need to get it down. My difference from month to month was 17, which was pretty much the exact same thing as last month, but my difference for the year is I am up 43 from the start of January. I've only had 1 month with a month-to-month negative difference. I would like to see the year difference go down. So right now I'm up 43 books from when we started January of this year. It needs to go down. So that is everything. Try and hold me accountable for my book buying ban, but that's gonna be it for me today. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos coming out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so I will see you then. Bye.